Hello everybody and welcome back. It's show 6 in my little mini series of 9 where I talk about 9 of your photographs from a recent challenge that we did, a couple of mine, and then I tell you about my smartphone photography masterclass, which is starting in a couple of days. I'm looking like this at the moment, still going. I've already done one of these today, so it's 11 o'clock at night where I am, but I'm a bit of a night owl, so that's fine. And so this is how it's going to work. I'm going to spend 20 minutes on looking at your photographs and a couple of mine, appreciating them and saying something I really like about them. And then the next 10 minutes will be, if you're interested in the masterclass, which is starting on Monday, and I think you should be. It's my baby, it's my life's work. So if you love photography and you want to go for it in a big way, then I'll tell you about that in the last 10 minutes. You can say hello, you can ask questions now, you can comment on the photographs, but I won't look at them until 20 minutes is up. So let's get right into it, because time is of the essence and I've got a couple of bonuses to show you. Right, so we're gonna launch in, and the first thing I do is show you one of my photographs, which comes from the little graphic that I conjured up. It's this one in the top middle, you see. And each of these photographs I chose specially to illustrate a particular point. And I'm darned if I can remember what this one was, but I think it was something along the lines of spontaneous portraits. And this young lady, a friend of a friend who I was meeting for the first time for coffee with a view to working on something together. I think she is Muslim, hence the headscarf, but she doesn't normally cover her face. But she had a sore lip or something like that. So she covered it with a convenient virus face mask. So that's the story of why I was in a cafe in Paris, just looking. If I turned around, I'd have seen Notre Dame, and there we were. So at some point, I was talking about photography, surprise, surprise, and it came up that I could take a photograph, so I took a photograph of her. And I found the result absolutely stunning. And why is it so good? I'm just sitting across from someone, take a snap, bam, it ends up being a really powerful portrait. And I sent it to her. And she didn't really say much. She said, thanks or something like that. And I thought, oh, well, she didn't really like it. It's not a big deal. I like it. That's what matters. And then a few days later, she changed her profile picture to be it. And she sent me a modified version of it where her daughter had drawn on it on the screen as she was talking to her mother. She sent it back with this scrawled heart in the colors of the French flag. So it's blue, a little white bit, and red. And it now means more to her than anything else. So you never know. You never know where your creations are going to go. So create. That's all I can say. So it's powerful because her face is covered. You can't see her nose or her mouth. You can only see her eyes. It's a very, very strong photograph. And the colors are beautiful as well. There's a bit of ambience, a bit of atmosphere, because you can see that we're in a cafe. There's the cup, of course, as well. She's got a beautiful ring on, which is an important one for her. You can actually turn that little spiky thing, and it's a bit like a portable praying wheel or something like that. And there you go. So a very, very simple situation produced a very powerful portrait. Okay, let's get on to your stuff. And I'm going to do 2 or 3, 2 for the price of 1 here, because I just couldn't resist. This is Jean. Jean is going to come on the masterclass, and I'm going to show you 2 of her. So this one is pure joy personified. It looks like this sort of walking mop is trying to give her a lick or something, and she looks like she is absolutely loving it. It's a beautiful moment between 2 beautiful creatures, and there's also a very nice diagonal there. Can you see from Jean's face going down to the doggy's throat type thing? It's actually a lovely diagonal composition, even though it's probably in a living room or something. You've got your standard curtains and stuff. Sorry if they're really important curtains, Jean. And but she's caught this moment. I mean, I imagine she's actually taking the photograph as well. So absolutely amazing that she got such a good shot. Let me compare it to this one. Same lady, completely different look and completely different animal as well. What a difference. And that's what you should do in a portrait session, is go for lots of different looks. Looking out the window, she looks reflective, not maybe pensive. The cat's also absolutely sort of stoic, as opposed to the dog who's going nuts. And it's a beautiful contrast. So those are really two beautiful examples. All right, I'm going to go fast because Jean got 2 for the price of 1 there. This is Lorenzo, who has got a lot of photographic experience, and especially with sort of spontaneous stuff. And he's done a gorgeous photograph here of his kids. Of course, I've got permission of everybody's kids here to show their pictures. And it's a powerful shot. It's almost silhouettes, but not quite. This is the power of black and white is shown here, because you've got the water. We don't know, maybe it was a bright sunny day. No, there's clouds, but the water probably wasn't as dramatic as that. When the water's in black and white, there's literally, the water goes dark gray and the foam goes white. You've got 2 colors. It's not even shades of color like in the sky. Very dramatic picture. They're not quite silhouettes, but they're almost. They're beautifully positioned. The top third of the picture, the 2 of them are positioned 1/3 in from one side, 1/3 in from the other. There's an interaction between them, because whoever the person on the left is maybe it's the girl's mum is playing with her daughter, let's say. The daughter's obviously having great fun because her arm's in the air. There's all sorts of things going on here, and it's beautiful. So thanks for that, Lorenzo. This is 𝗂𝗏, my friend 𝗂𝗏. I actually did a challenge in her group, a creativity challenge. She's changing things. She's a dynamic entrepreneur, creating things all the time. Here, she was actually lying in bed with a headache, I think, and she didn't give up. She said, okay, what can I do in my bed? I guess there's various things you can do in bed. Sleep, for example, or be pitifully bedridden. She decided to take some beautiful portraits. She played the black and white card, and she followed the advice of the session that we did. One of the things was to look away. How beautiful that is. It's absolutely gorgeous. The lighting is soft. The look is soft. The smile is soft. Everything is soft. And it's lovely. Very beautiful shot. So thanks for sharing that one with us as well. She did a series of 3. And if you do a series of 3, you can turn them into a triptych. And if you've got 3 looks of the same person, but the photographic style is the same, this can be a beautifully powerful portrait or a gift to give to someone. Compare this with another very similar beautiful lady lying on a bed. And here we go. I'm spoiling you today, aren't I? So this is 𝗂𝗏, who also did the masterclass last time. And she's done a lovely shot. And it's a different look, isn't it? This one is more reflective, looking down, and here it's more inquiring or even searching, looking up. Maybe she's looking at a spider on the ceiling. I don't know, but that's our problem. We don't know what she's looking at. The lighting is beautifully soft. It's black and white, but it's a soft black and white. It's not harsh, and it's a lovely shot. And it's all the more lovely because when someone is in an intimate setting, but they're not looking at us, it's like we've been invited in almost to a private moment, and that can make the shot all the more powerful as well. And the hand above the head is nice because it looks like she's relaxing. She's at ease. There's just that little look on her face that makes me think, what's she thinking of? Is something troubling her? So it's a very, very nice shot. By the way, this is the 20-minute session where I talk about photographs. You're welcome to comment, say hello. Do that, and I'll talk to your comments from 20 minutes to 30 minutes because that's when I talk about the masterclass. If you don't know about it, I'll tell you all about it, everything you want to know. If you want to ask any questions, then you can ask me. It's starting on Monday. It's going to be fantastic. I'd love you to join us. Right, 2 for the price of 1. Again, here we go. Are you ready? It's Susan who is doing the masterclass. Okay, so you'll meet her if you do the masterclass. It's 2 completely different looks. Here's the first. All right, so she is taking off her glasses. There's this weird thing that I noticed. You can't really see through the glasses. I don't know why. Is it because they're misted or something that has some special effect? You can't see through them from the side, but it's blank, more or less blank, looking through them. And this is something I suggested people could do. Get your subject to do something. Now, maybe she's actually taking her own shot. I don't know, but she's actually doing something. She's in the process of putting the glasses on or taking them off. And if she's taking them off to see more clearly, her eyes are looking, maybe to see, she's taking them off to look at something. This is great. It's a mystery. It's a story. What is she looking at? What's she taking her glasses off to look at? The hand is nicely posed. It's not you might think that's a strange comment, but when it comes to portraiture, hands are very important. It's a straight on shot, but then if it wasn't, we wouldn't see her looking so clearly ahead and in fact over the level of the camera. So that's nice. And even the lines behind her are quite nice. I like it when there's lines that go into people's heads. Strangely enough, it's a personal thing, but it actually draws attention to the person in a very subtle way. Okay, and let's go on to the next one of Susan. And it's a completely different look, isn't it? I mean, it's the same person, but she's even in the same, I might guess she's even in the same place, but she's smiling. She's looking off camera down to the side. She's got a lovely smile. And is she wearing the same shirt? Yeah, so maybe it was two different looks. So it's really good to go for two different looks in the same photo shoot with yourself or with others. Black and white really suits her. And it's a nice, a simple, but a beautiful portrait that I think would mean a lot to anybody who knows her. Now let's move on to day 4, right? So this is today's session 6 is a mixture between day 3, which was portraits, and day 4, which was, what was it again? Ah, yes, getting up close. Right, so this is from Laurel. Laurel, they almost look like laurel leaves, don't they? It's from Laurel. I don't know what sort of plant it is, but this is the magic of getting up close. The danger with getting up close is you don't have a clear subject, or there's no contrast. You know, if you're getting close to grass or a tree or something, it can end up being just a bunch of tree or just a bunch of grass. But here, she's been very clever. She's got up in the top right, like a compositional element, up to the top right, she's got these yellowy green leaves, which are much smaller, and then completely surrounding them are the other more mature red and black leaves. It's a great way of approaching the subject. And it's interesting because of the contrast. Red and green are wonderful contrasts to put together. They're complementary colors. I think they're on opposite sides of the spectrum, the color wheel. And for a nature shot, it's interesting. There isn't like an ant or something, an insect, which can be a real focus of attention. But for a very simple nature shot, it's really beautiful. And you can see the little curly leaves just starting. It's like we're watching a kind of birth here. So that is beautiful as well. So that's Laurel. Thanks for that. Laurel is coming on the masterclass. Are you? Right. So after 20 minutes, I'm going to tell you all about the masterclass. All right. Here's another one. And this is from Chris, who is coming on the masterclass. You see how keen we are, guys? And this was up close again. It's so up close, I have no idea what it is. I think in another shot, it became clearer or it was explained. But she just called it funky blue. And it really is, isn't it? This is abstract. We've gone abstract here. We don't know what it is. Amazing colors. This could be on the wall as a beautiful thing to have on the wall if this is your style. And it's beautiful because you don't know what it is. And that's one of the magical things about going abstract. In the end, it doesn't matter what it is. Right, let's move on. Now, I suggested that for color, because if you take a picture of something in a particular color, like a red door or the red pillar box, you might not realize that there's any theme going on there. It's just a red pillar box. It's just tomatoes. It's just a red door. But I asked you to shoot on a theme, a color theme. So how do we, the viewers, know that there's a theme going on here and it's not just a red thing? Well, make a triptych. put three red things together, and then it's absolutely obvious. And this is quite clever because in two of the shots, there's a bit of green as well. I just said that red and green go well together. And there it is. And funnily enough, the green here separates the red of the door, the red of the pillar box. Very British. Wondering what that insignia is, actually. It looks like a G. Could it have been, the pillar boxes could have been installed during the reign of King George or something? I don't know. King George VI? Wow. Anyway, that's my British heritage or lack of it showing. And then the green separates that from the door, because this is composition. I call it meta composition. We cover this in module 5 actually of the masterclass. It's putting pictures together to have with a pleasing composition. And she's actually sliced, because if she'd just had the tomatoes and the red door completely covered the middle shot and then the red of the pillar box, that would have been interesting, but we could have got a bit mixed up in the reds. So there's a sliver of green bush between the door and the pillar box, and there's a bit of white between the tomatoes, which also have an echo of green, which echoes the leaves. So this is nice. We're moving into triptychs, and I'm going to show you one more triptych if you would like. Would you like? Yes, show me a triptych. And what do you think the color is going to be? It's going to be, by the way, you can say hello. Say hello in the comments, because in a couple of minutes, I'm going to say hello to you in the comments if you said hello. So please say hello and who you are. And did you guess? It's yellow. It's a square composition, and it's pretty powerful. This again, you see, I can't quite get it all in, so maybe it's not 100% square. It's got three elements which are all clearly yellow and grey, which gives them a unity. It gives the whole thing a unity, like a single picture. But they're different yellows and they're different things. That's really cool. Are they linked to the same thing? Well, they kind of are, you know. There's an arrow, looks like a yellow arrow on the road. You've got a truck type thing, which obviously is a road vehicle. And am I guessing that the yellow is some sort of machine? I don't know what the yellow thing is in the middle, but it's a really nice composition. They go well together. And if you look, the two yellows on the side go deeper down than the one in the middle. And I think it really works well. So good for you on that. And that was from, Mary, did I say? This is Mary on the red stuff. And this is Jackie on the yellow. Now, that should have been the end of it, but it's not quite, because at the last minute I got permission from Ronnie to show her kids' pictures, and I really want to do that to honor her efforts. So here we go. So I think it's the same little girl. I'm guessing it's a girl. You never know these days. My son's got quite long hair, and they're both nice. And I would say she followed the main recommendation, which was don't have the subject looking at the camera. And don't you think it's really good? Because here, and also have them doing something. Here, the little girl, I'm going to say it's a girl, is playing, and she's in the full joy, the full flow of being a little kid playing. And you don't get that if the parent is like on their back, you know, look at me, smile, take that away from your face, you know, no, turn you. It just doesn't work. Get them playing, and you be ready to get the shot. You have to be ready, not them. Don't worry about them. Let them be whatever they're being. The best shots will come when you capture those moments, but you have to be ready. So that's fantastic. And the other one from Ronnie, I wanted to show because it's the same little girl, but she's in a completely different state. Looks like she's ready to maybe eat, or she's in a plaything. She's calm. Her attention is somewhere. It's a lovely study. You know, she's not screaming. She's not laughing. She's just got her attention focused on something. We don't know what it is. It's a beautiful profile as well. You see a little nose, little mouth, little cheeks, and it's a lovely shot, surrounded in a big warm thing. So you put those two together, and they're two lovely studies of the same person. Now I do finish, just before I tell you about the masterclass, I finish with one of mine, and this is one from this week. I'm going to show you. I think it was yesterday's shot. And it's a self-portrait. It's in my Perturbing Self-Portrait series. This is a thing I do throughout my life. Every 10 days I publish a self-portrait. And the challenge is, you might think it's egotistical, but for a start, when I need someone in my photographs, I'm always around. And secondly, why not? Why not have a record of us going through our lives as part of a creative project? So throughout my life, I'm taking these things and there they are for what they're worth. And very, very quickly, it becomes almost scary as you see yourself getting old. But it's also a good way of coming to terms with life going on, and it can make you want to make the most of it. So I always try to have some sort of interaction with what's around me. So in this case, there were these people, there's an umbrella up in the air, there's rain, there's this little guy, this is typical Paris graffiti, who is holding onto his money with one arm and being pulled to the skies with a love balloon in the other, with another lovely little red heart there. So I thought I would look to the skies as well. So that's my attempt to integrate myself into this piece of street art. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you just take a straight on picture of somebody else's street art, it's a picture of somebody else's street art. And in terms of your photographic input, it's limited at best. And that's not what I'm into. For creative photography, we have to be in the photograph in some way or other. In other words, we have to have changed what we're looking at in some way. Otherwise, it's just a record shot. It could be just for a news reportage or something like that. Creative street photography, any sort of creative photography, is about us playing a major role as the photographers, even amateur photographers, in creating a unique shot. Look at the angle of the yellow here. You see that? It's a normal straight on wall, but look at that crazy angle. That's me. I took it at an angle. Taking things at an angle, for example, the balloon is the same size as the umbrella, but it looks far bigger because you've taken it at an angle. This is all stuff that we cover in the masterclass. Right, so I'm going to just say hello to a couple of people, and then I'm going to tell you all about what's happening next. All right, so we've got Alice is saying hello. Interesting selfie by Susan. Good job. Good job. And then we've got Thomas, also known as Nothing But a Burning Light, saying good evening. Hi, Thomas. Nice to have you here. Well, you guys, you can probably go now because I'm just going to tell people about anyone who watches this on the replay. You're welcome. I'm going to tell you about the masterclass, which you already know about because you're coming on it. So this is for those who don't know about it. Right, so I'm going to swap over to a different screen. And I'm going to tell you about what will happen if you decide to spend the next 9 weeks in my company and the company of some other great people as well. I do have a little script here. Well, not a script, but some things which I pop up. And so it's, no, it's not that. It's starting here. So it's an introduction to the masterclass, which is starting on Monday. You can join, actually, you can join in the first week. You won't miss anything, but the early bird price will have gone. So now is the chance to sign up for that. And the first question is probably, why would you want to do this? Why would you want to do this masterclass? Who is it for? Let me quickly say to you that one of the best ways of knowing what this is about, apart from reading this page, is to zap down to the testimonials. I've just got a few testimonials came in from the spring masterclass, and this is doubly good because they're lovely testimonials. They only last a minute or two, and they also let you see the experience from the participant's point of view. And it is an experience. It's an experiential training program. In other words, you're fully involved, you're motivated, you're looked after, and the promise is that you will finish it with, let me show you the promise. I'm getting away from myself. Let me just go back to this. Why would you want to do this? For a start, you do love photography. You're a creative soul. You love photography, or you know that you love it, but you've never developed it as much as you'd like to. So in that case, it's for you. All you need is this. I learnt my craft, if I may put it that way, many years ago. On a thing like this, but it was much simpler, to be honest. But it was a fancy an SLR camera, and I've gone through many of these. And a few years ago, I abandoned my mega Nikon SLR. If that means anything to you, fair enough. If not, don't worry. A huge, expensive, beautiful lovely camera. I abandoned it for this little sliver of stuff in my hand. Why? For several reasons. But to cut a long story short, the thing you have in your pocket is phenomenal. If you've got a modern smartphone, it's amazing. It's capable of taking superb photographs. I'm coming up to number 1,000, photograph number 1,000 in my Paris Chronicles that I've taken in 1,000 days. Look at any of those. If you like any of them, they were taken on a smartphone like this or this one. So plus smartphones can do things that you can't do with traditional fancy cameras. So I decided to devote this course to smartphone photography because so many people have got a smartphone, so I could reach so many people. So that's why. So you love photography. You want to make the most of your smartphone. You want to express yourself creatively. Many of us do. The people I surround myself with, all of them, have this real creative urge. And creating, don't forget, it's not just about creating stuff and being happy with yourself. It's about creating stuff and sharing it with others to make them happy, to create connections, and then they will create stuff and share with you. You know, it's a beautiful, virtuous circle. So creating is so easy, and yet you can go so far with just this thing that you have in your pocket. And to get to the promise of the masterclass, maybe you want to create an amazing photo gallery, which you will share with your friends on social media. You can have an exhibition. All of that is possible by the end of the program. Because, let me show you the promise, which is in the form of a mission, which you accept. You have to accept it, otherwise there's no point coming on the program. So here it is. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to develop your photographer's eye, master your smartphone camera, and produce a superb collection of original photos under 9 inspiring themes in just 9 weeks. There's a caveat to that, and you'll like it, but let me tell you in a minute. In just 9 weeks to impress your friends and be extremely proud of. There's a mission because this program isn't like another program where you kind of sign up for it, you kind of do it and you kind of finish it and you're not really sure what happened. Or worse, really worse, you waste your money. You put it on your virtual shelf, you never look at it, you do the first thing, then you lose track of time or you've got other stuff to do. I'm not interested in that sort of program, and I'm not interested in people who have that approach, but it's not their fault because there's so many programs that I've abandoned. So I want this to be the program you don't abandon. And I've created this to be the only photography program you will ever need. And at the end of it, you can go as far as you want. The only exception to that is if you want to be a specialist photographer in a specialist area. So let me show you the program quickly, and then we're done. We're out of here. So here we go. There are 5 modules. Module 1 is 1 week. It's the introduction. It's a lovely module. We explore why do we like photography so much? What is it? Why do we do it? And but you start taking photographs from day 1. Don't worry about that. Module 2 is 2 weeks. And this is the guts of the program. Module 2, Module 3, Module 4. Module 2 is mastering your camera and apps. You get to know exactly what's going on with this camera in here. There's a load of stuff you can do with it you're probably not aware of. There's controls you can use which will transform your photographs. It's just great. You know, there's settings to make the photographs better, all sorts of stuff. And there's clever stuff you can do as well. And then the apps. I'm absolutely pro app. You know, I'm not a purist. I'm a purist in that don't treat a crappy photograph with an app. I learned my craft when every time you clicked, you paid. Remember those days? Maybe you don't. So the photograph has to be fundamentally a great photograph in your mind before you even click. Having said that, the apps these days are just amazing. So let's have fun with apps. Week 3, everybody loved it. So that's 3 weeks. Then there's a break week. And the break week is for 3 reasons, if I can remember them. The first is to practice stuff you haven't had time to practice yet, You want to go deeper into some of the techniques we've already seen. The other reason is you want to catch up. You haven't had time to do all the modules, all the lessons. You catch up in the catch-up week. And the third possibility is you want a break from photography. There it is. After week 3, week 4 effectively, is a break week. Module 3, it's 3 weeks long. Okay, we've had 1 week, 2 weeks, now it's 3 weeks long. It's the longest module. This is the core of the program. It's a wonderful module. It gives you every compositional technique, stuff about lighting, filling your creative toolbox with everything you need to create fantastic photographs. So that's a wonderful module. It's in-depth stuff. Each week there's an assignment. So you've got trainings, you've got an assignment to do each week. You're practicing all this stuff, and then you have a break week. Yeah, I told you what the break week was for. Catch up on stuff you haven't done yet, practice techniques in more depth, or just have a break completely. So that's why the program is doable. Another reason the program is doable is that I put you into pods. Each module, you're in a pod, and a pod is a group of people, maybe 2 people, maybe 3 people. You, maybe 4, I'm not sure actually, we'll see this time. This is where you can share your stuff, encourage each other on your assignments, compare photographs, get advice and on which photographs would be best for your portfolio shots. And it's just a lovely way to get to know each other. Right, after the second break week, it's week 7, effectively, on the program. Module 4, it's 2 weeks, and then module 5 is 1 week, okay? So this is a motivational technique. Developing your photographer's eye. This is the guts of, no, it's not the guts of the program. The guts of the program is module 3. This is, if you like, the heart of the program. It's advanced level stuff. It's putting your own life experience into your photographs. It's not something I can teach you. I can only point you in the direction of. But this is, when you can do this, your photographs become more than just shots. Even if your technique is superb, you've got a great compositional element. Okay, that's good. But where is the soul? This allows you to put soul into it. You find a way of expressing what you see in your mind through your photographs, which when people look at them, they think, not only do they think really great photograph, they think, I can see your passion when you took it, or I can see something about your life. You know, there's a contact with the photographer, which isn't always evident. So that's a very powerful module. And module 5 is 1 week long. So it's the ninth week of work, as it were, or play. And we relax. We talk about putting your photographs together nicely for the exhibition. There's a training on that. And I think there's even a training on feeling confident about showing your work. It's really good, you know, psychological stuff. Be proud of your creations always. And then you display them, and you do your exhibition. It's either just to us guys, it's in your living room for your family and friends, or it's a proper exhibition in an exhibition space. It's entirely up to you and what you want to go for. And there are bonuses, but I won't cover them here. I want to keep it short. And so look at the bonuses. There might even be other bonuses now which aren't here, because I've created other things since. And that is it. I will very quickly show you the final thing. And this is the program. It's had the names of the actual trainings blurred out, because I don't want you to, that's a secret. That's fun, right? It'll be a surprise each week. But I can tell you the weeks are called. Week 1, what is photography? Understanding your camera, discovering photo apps. In module 3, exposing your subject. Shadows and light, composition toolbox. Module 4, seeing the invisible, letting creativity in. Very powerful modules. And module 5, trainings, weeks even. Module 5, putting it all together. And next steps as well. You know, I don't leave you alone. There's plenty of things you can do afterwards. So that is my wonderful masterclass, which is starting on Monday. So I would love you to take part in this, and you can't get left behind, by the way. You know, it might seem like mission accomplished and, you know, will I achieve my mission? Well, don't worry about that. That's to motivate you. But if you haven't finished by the end for whatever reason, you're still part of the program. I still support you until you reach mission accomplished. It's great if you do everything. Everything is designed that you finish it in the 9 weeks, but understand that nothing happens. You know, the program doesn't explode if you haven't finished it. I support you until you have, and so will your other program people. And that's part of the promise. So I would love, without further ado, without saying any more, I think you know now if this is for you or not. If it's right for you, you've seen the style of the photography, you've seen the seriousness, but also the real interactivity of the program. It's designed to motivate you every step of the way. We have a Zoom call on Saturdays. We get together live and we talk about our photographs, that week's trainings, the week's assignment, anything else, the weather, anything you like. So this is such a wonderful program. As evidence that people like it, I think about half now of the people who did it in the spring are actually coming back again, and it's not for free. So that's how much of an impact it had on people. After this program, people have started blogs purely on an aspect of photography which fired them up, which they discovered during the masterclass. And we're good friends now, we stay in touch, and it's just a wonderful experience. Not like anything else I've seen out there. So if you like the sound of this, please join me. I would love you to, love to get to know you and have you as part of this. It's starting on Monday. Early bird price is still there this weekend, probably until the program starts, because people can, there are always people who just missed it and they really regret it. People have joined the program in the first week, but it's not early bird price. So that's it. Thanks so much. And there'll be another one of these tomorrow, and maybe 2 tomorrow, because I've got to get 3 more of these out before the end of it. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the masterclass. And whether you are or not, I hope you enjoyed the photo appreciation as much as I did. Thanks for now, and see you again soon.